Hey Paranormies! Welcome back to the light side of the paranormal. My name is Alice.
And I'm Jenna, and we are back with another TLS Top 5.
Because we know you love it.
And we do too. We really like making these videos for you guys, and we really enjoy the discussion that it sparks in the comments section.
Yes!
We upload these videos, and then we just kind of sit back for the rest of the day and just enjoy seeing all the other movie selections and seeing what movies you guys are into. So please keep commenting your favorite movies and your top 5s and your honorable mentions, because we read all those comments and we will reply to most of you, if not all, and watch some of the suggestions that you give us if we haven't heard them. So please keep up that discussion in the comment section.
Yes, today's category is
Psychological Thrillers. Okay, so starting with number 5, our least favorite out of our top 5s, and working down to number 1, our number 1 favorite. What is your number 5 psychological thriller?
My number 5 is Orphan. Please!
It's my number 5 too.
Oh! Your number 5 is Orphan?
Yeah.
We are the same person. We're slowly melding into one human being. So my reason for it being my number 5 is because I remember it totally taking this turn, I'm not going to spoil it for you, that I was not expecting at all. It was just hard hitting, if I could say that.
It was a total blindside.
Yeah, and I remember seeing the commercial. The commercial really stuck out to me. Like, when I think about Orphan, I first think of the trailer before the movie, which is weird because I don't have anything else that I can think of that I think of like that.
Yeah.
So why else is it in your top 5?
I love a movie where I have to sit and like, oh, could this be the answer? Or could that be the answer? This is so weird. Oh, like, now there's this new clue and I don't know where to place it. I love movies like that, and this one, I was just doing that the whole time and never suspected the answer.
Yes.
That's why I loved it. So
if
good.
you know, you know.
And when I wrote it down, I was like, I gotta watch this again.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the plot summary for Orphan is a husband and wife who recently lost their baby adopt a 9-year-old girl who is not nearly as innocent as she appears.
So, number 4.
Number 4. My number 4 spot is Hide and Seek.
That was on my list.
Oh, like in your honorables?
I wasn't going to even honorably mention it.
It's not honorable enough.
No, I just had so many honorable mentions, but it was on my list when I was jotting down movies that I like that were psychological thrillers. That's a good one.
Yeah, I love it. I loved how dark it was. Like, there was so much effed up S in there.
Love it.
Holy crow. And I was really young when I watched it, so it was disturbing, to say the least, but also fascinating. Like, heavy on the psychological side of thriller. So good. If you haven't seen it, definitely watch it. And the synopsis reads, as a widower tries to piece together his life in the wake of his wife's suicide, his daughter finds solace, at first in her imaginary friend. Yes.
Oh, I forgot.
And the imaginary friend is what's especially scary about that.
My number 4 is The Good Son.
I don't think I've seen that.
It's really old. So this movie was so good. There is no paranormal aspect to this at all. It's just all psychological, and it's so good for that reason. It is with young Macaulay Culkin and
adorable.
Elijah Wood.
Oh, adorable.
They get kind of tangled up in a way that just makes you sit at the edge of your seat the entire time. And I can't say a whole lot about it without giving too much away.
That's fair.
Like a lot of these, because I think most of them end with a twist ending. If you say too much, you give the twist away.
Which we don't want to do.
No.
Everyone loves a twist. But let's read the synopsis.
Yes. In this psychological thriller film, a 12-year-old Mark Evans stays with his aunt and uncle after his mother dies and his father goes on an important business trip. He meets his same-age cousin Henry and eventually discovers his true violent behavior.
Ooh, okay. We have a violent cousin on our hands.
Yeah, and they're kids, they're little kids, so...
Ooh, that would make it creepier.
I find this one has a lot of similarities in that aspect to Orphan.
Okay.
Little kids with violent behavior. Number 3.
My third spot tangoed with 2 other movies, but it held the third place, and that is The Uninvited. So I loved that there was so much mystery in this movie. As soon as you think you know what's going on, you don't. I loved this.
There's a lot of movies that have like that same running theme of a step parent being untrustworthy.
Yes, that's
Right?
true.
'Cause that
Especially in the
happens in
90s,
that movie.
actually.
Yeah, and then there was
Yeah.
like stepfather. That happens in this, right?
Yes, yeah, there's a stepmother going on. I'm not going to say too much. But I will say that there were a lot of really beautiful, creepy visuals in this. Beautiful and fascinating, but then also gory or just terrifying. This was one that gave me nightmares when I was younger, for sure. And I think that it's deserving of my number 3 spot.
The plot summary for The Uninvited is Anna returns home after a stint in a mental hospital, but her recovery is jeopardized by her cruel stepmother and ghastly visions of her dead mother.
Number 3, Shutter Island.
Oh, number 3.
Oh, what's that for you? Is that coming up?
Yep.
Yes, there were 2 other movies. This was hard. This whole top 5 was hard, but the last 3 were like, ooh, it was a fight for each spot.
Yes, the violent tango I was talking about, yes.
Obviously, Leonardo DiCaprio, I mean, so that's a really good movie. There's a lot of mystery and suspense, like a police officer trying to figure out a case on this island where there's a mental health facility, trying to get answers from people who aren't really present in the, it's frustrating for him, and then he gets one little clue and just starts running with it. It's just a big mess of... It's a really long movie too, I think.
It is.
Or it's a longer movie. I saw this in theaters. Every single seat in the theater was taken. And it was in the winter. And I didn't have room to take off my winter coat. There's a whole story behind it.
Tell me.
And I sat in my winter coat sweating, and the main character's like, he's doing a lot of sweating as well in this movie, I feel like.
Oh my gosh.
It's a thriller. Heart was racing, and I'm in a big winter coat with this very large man beside me, and then my husband, and I'm like,
Canadian theater problems.
Yeah.
What do you say?
the last 10 minutes
Holy.
were agony because the twist was happening and my anxiety kicked in from all
Oh,
the
no.
people. And I had told my husband, I'm like, there may be a minute where I just dash out of here like big time. Anyway,
I'm surprised you sat through the whole thing.
it was that good.
It was a great movie.
If that's enough to convince you that I stuck around. But I'm telling you, as soon as the credits rolled, I was gone.
It's worth suffering for.
Oh, yeah, that was a story and a half. I'll always remember seeing it in the theater
Wow.
for that reason. Such a good movie.
Yes.
Do you want me to read the synopsis? I know it's coming up for you, so would you want me to leave you the synopsis?
I can read it, yeah. I'll
Okay.
keep it.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
what's your number 2?
So my number 2 is, drum roll please. Just hurts yourself. The Bone Collector.
Oh, I've never seen it. I'm sorry. I've committed a heinous crime. Tell me about it, lady.
Okay, without giving too much away. So you're following a detective, again, in this one. You're really trying to solve a crime. And I'm saying you're because, like, you get so enveloped in the characters that you are investigating it with them. It's so cool. And there's a killer on the loose. And you have to track him down and catch him before he keeps committing more and more murders. He has souvenirs when he kills or when he hurts people.
Possibly bones.
Who knows? Oh yeah, it's literally called the Bone Collector. Okay, yeah, it's bones. It's just this big puzzle. So much suspense, edge of your seat, so captivating, not a single boring moment. I watched it for the first time, I think I was like 7 or so, and it was very, very scary.
You watched The Bone Collector when you were 7?
Yeah.
Oh my
It was
word!
destined to be this weird, I don't know.
Oh.
It was weird because it scared me, but I got fixated on it, and I watched it like annually for years.
Wow.
I know it a little bit. And let's read a synopsis. A quadriplegic ex-homicide detective and his partner try to track down a serial killer who is terrorizing New York City. Leaving a lot to the imagination there.
Yeah.
But it's so good. If you like crime and you like mysteries and puzzles, put those pieces together, baby, and watch this.
So my number 2, again, so hard. Such a fierce battle between my second and first pick. But my number 2 is Coherence.
I haven't seen
I
it.
know, I talked this movie up. I feel like I talked to you about it a lot. No?
If you did, I can't remember.
Okay, oh, perfect. I've talked to a lot of people about this movie. People I'm sure think I'm like recruiting this movie.
For the Coherence cult.
Yeah, oh my gosh. It's such a good movie. So it's a psychological thriller, but it has some sci-fi aspects to it.
Cool.
If you like the whole time slap and like
different timelines?
yeah, and different parallel universes caused by a comet that is
Oh, cool.
flying really close to the Earth one night, and stuff happens.
Oh, does it?
It's a very, very cool movie.
I'm excited. I love all that stuff. It's so fascinating.
Yeah, I like me a good psychological thriller that has some sci-fi in there.
A little sprinkle of sci-fi.
Okay, so the synopsis goes. On the night of an astronomical anomaly, 8 friends and a dinner party experience a troubling chain of reality-bending events.
Ooh.
I
Say
love this movie.
astronomical anomaly 10 times fast.
There's not enough people I know that have seen this. I need to talk to somebody about it. Please, somebody comment down below so we can chat about this movie. Because I loved it, and nobody I know has seen it.
But no spoilers, please.
Yes. So, number 1.
Number 1.
Well,
number 1.
That leaves. I know what it is then. Oh, how disappointing.
Wah, wah.
Is it? Could it be? No. Shutter Island.
Yes. This movie, when I think of psychological thriller, I think of Shutter Island. This movie boggled my mind. This movie made my brain explode. I love this movie, as you can tell. It has my number 1 spot. And I'm confident that it deserves to be there. I can't believe it wasn't your number 1. When you said it, I was like...
Wait until you hear my number 1. And you're going to go, what? Enough about my number 1. Let's continue to hear about your number 1.
Okay. I wasn't expecting the ending at all, like most of the good psychological thrillers. And I also just love movies that are at a mental health facility, also known as asylums, but that's not, we know. And by the way, I've had people like mention that they don't like when I correct myself to be more politically correct, but honestly, my main goal here on the internet is to respect all humans and never have anyone feel like they're less than or like they're being mistreated if I'm using the wrong word. So I just really care about you, and so that's why I do that. I'm sorry if you don't like it, but it feels good for my soul to do that. So I'm gonna read the synopsis for you.
Whoa!
Never mind.
Click. Pages.
That's the synopsis. Just, you want a little story, kids?
Let me tell you
I got
a
one.
story about an island named Shutter.
In 1954, a U.S. Marshal investigates the disappearance of a murderer who escaped from a hospital for the criminally insane.
Oh, that's another reason why I like that movie, because it's in the 50s. It's like, you see?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Which is kind of hot for some reason.
Yeah.
That's very vague, but it's good because now you just know Leo DiCaprio. That's enough of a reason to go watch it, so just shoop, go see it, because that's my number 1.
Oh, that's a good, these are good taglines.
The tagline for Shutter Island is, "Some places never let you go."
Bravo.
And after that long story, what is your number 1?
As above, so below.
Oh yeah. Good choice. That's a great movie. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you talk.
That's okay. See, I wasn't sure, like, if it was considered, like, where else would you place that? I don't know, whatever.
I feel like it's kind of obscure.
If you haven't seen this movie, what are you doing?
Go watch it.
So it's about this woman who enlists the help of some people to search for an ancient artifact that her father died in searching for. And they search in the catacombs of Paris.
And if you don't know what that is, it is the coolest thing ever, and we want to go there someday.
Yeah. As you can imagine, if you know what the catacombs are, they just get deeper and deeper, unable to find a way out. And all these really weird, paranormal, like mind-bending things start happening, and it is so good.
It's one of the few movies that I have on DVD and have not like donated or something, because everything's on streaming services, but yeah, like I like to own it because it's that good. I needed a physical copy of it.
The synopsis goes, a group of subterranean explorers encounter terror beneath the streets of Paris after descending into the city's ancient catacombs. Just when it seems their journey can't get any more nightmarish, the demons of their past strike back with a vengeance.
Yes, oh, the demons of the past. I forgot about that aspect.
Oh, yeah.
So good. I feel like not a lot of people have seen this movie.
It's not...
Compared to some of the other ones that have been on our list, you know?
It's not as well known. Oh, that's a good tagline. I'm sold.
Yay!
So the tagline for this movie is, the only way out is down. Ooh, I got chills. I gotta watch it again.
Yes!
That was our top 5s. Now list us your honorable mentions.
Alright, I shall.
You've got a list there?
So my first honorable mention that I feel like fits into this category, it's sometimes hard to place these, is Friend Request. You remember Friend Request.
Ooh, I was going to talk about that one.
I almost had it on my number 4, but then I remembered Hide and Seek and I liked that one even more, so I had to put it there. But honestly, this movie, I feel like not a lot of people have talked about it. I never saw any advertising for it, but that could just be me living under a rock. And
No, I didn't either.
no, but it's newer and it's so scary. Like, I thought I knew what I was getting myself into before I clicked on it, but it was not what I thought. And it was so much darker and scarier.
Yeah, it looks like it's going one way and then it just goes deeper. So I tried watching this. It took me 2 or 3 times watching it, and each time I watched it, my daughter would have a massive night terror. Hours after she'd fallen asleep and I'm watching this movie, and it was enough. I didn't even watch the end, I don't think, because I was like, I can't do this.
The next honorable mention that would have been my number 6 is the number 23,
That was one of mine.
right?
That was on my honorable mention. Yes.
But I felt like it wasn't spooky enough.
I love that movie. Yeah, it's just good. It's an honorable mention. It's honorable.
Yes, it is honorable.
It's good to have in there. It's not a top 5, but it's good to have in there.
One of my favorite serious Jim Carrey movies. I just love him so much. But yeah, that was captivating. I loved that. And it made me get really into, like,
Yes,
synchronicities and numerology. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Very good
that was cool. And my final honorable mention, that honestly, this should have been on my list, but I just got tired of scratching things out and rewriting them all the time. So that would be Get Out. Basically, it's really creepy. This guy is going to see his girlfriend's parents for the weekend, and I think that he was meeting them for the first time. Yes.
Yeah.
Super uncomfortable, super awkward, super tense, super weird. So then as the dinner progresses, he quickly finds out how her parents and how her family really is. And it's really dark, really twisty, really awesome.
Very twisted.
I love it.
First one I want to talk about is Mother. Now,
Oh.
so many people hated this movie, and I'm going to get a lot of backlash for this, but I caught on very quickly that it was an art film that runs parallel to the story of Mary and Joseph and God and Jesus, and which is like so not me. But it's made in a horror movie, and it's dark and twisted and gross, but it just wanted to push that story on you really hard. And for you to see it in a modern way, that's really messed up. So you can kind of really see how messed up that whole story is.
Yeah. It was extremely disturbing, to say the least.
One scene in particular, yeah.
Yeah.
But everything, if you like an artsy film where everything is metaphorical, this will do it for you. Every single thing that they touch, that happens, even the way they stand with, you know, God is higher up, and like everything is metaphorical. So if that interests you, go watch that. If that doesn't interest you, don't hate on me for liking movies like that, okay? My next honorable mention was The Invitation. So this guy goes to a dinner that he was invited to at his ex's house, and it is super awkward and really hard to watch for the first little while, because you're like, this is just such an awkward, like, why did she invite him? And he's like, I don't know. And it's just really weird. And then it starts to like snowball into this murder spree type movie.
Ooh, cool.
And then again, like a bit of a twist at the end. So another honorable mention, Donnie Darko.
That was actually on mine, but I didn't want to say it out loud because I didn't want to have too many.
This is a good movie. If you haven't seen it, this is like a cult classic. I feel like a lot of people have seen this movie, right? A lot of people like romanticize it and talk about it a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, people are still dressing up as Frank Bunny
Yeah,
to this day.
it's pretty classic in that way. Purely psychological. After narrowly escaping a bizarre accident, a troubled teenager is plagued by visions of a man in a large rabbit suit who manipulates him to commit a series of crimes. The Wicker Man?
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
I feel like I'm surprised.
I have to watch it.
I'm surprised. So Nicolas Cage, so he goes to like this cult thing
Okay.
to see his ex, who said that she was pregnant with and ended up birthing his child, and so now this child is missing, and she wants his help to find the child on an island, I'm quite sure, and it's very culty. All these clues he's getting, there's just like no answer. He just doesn't have the answer for what is going on, and it all comes to a point at the end. Whoa.
That's cool.
And my last honorable mention is such like a B-list. Probably not a lot of people have seen it, but it's called Yellow Brick Road.
Oh.
And
I'm assuming that it's a nod to The Wizard of Oz?
kind of, not in the way you'd think. Just like the main idea of it really grabbed me. The ending is a little obscure and like, leading up to that last 5 minutes, a whole town way back in the 30s goes just missing. A whole town goes missing.
Cool.
So
okay.
this team of investigators decides that they're going to go and try and figure out what happened. All they know is that the whole town got up and walked down a path into the woods. So they follow that path, which they're called the Yellow Brick Road, because it's like trying to find, you know.
That makes sense. Wow.
So weird. The stuff that starts happening.
So is this like true?
No, it's not true.
Okay, well,
We
still,
would know about it, I think.
Yeah, that's
If
true.
something like this is true, please let us know.
Those are some good ones.
Without talking about any of them, on my list I had so many other ones. I had The Butterfly Effect, The Gift, Unbreakable, Split, Glass, The Girl on the Train, Regression.
A reminder to please leave your top 5 psychological thrillers in the comments below. Like this video if you want to see us do more top 5s, because we know you do, so show us, please.
Please make sure to click in the description down below and head over to our Instagram page if you haven't already. Our Instagrams will also be in the description so that you can head over there and follow us in our personal lives if you so choose that.
Thank you. And remember to live your life with love and light.
And keep on creeping on.
Bye.
Bye, guys.